Welcome to True Facts on Acoustic Location of Prey Abilities and Order Strigiforms. Strigiforms? Kind of makes me think about string cheese. Kind of makes me hungry. Anyways, owls are birds from the order Strigiforms, which includes about 200 species of mostly solitary and nocturnal birds of prey, typified by an upright stance, a large, broad head. You know what they say about broad heads. Binocular vision, binaural hearing, sharp talons, and feathers adapted for silent flight, so that they can sneak up on all those little critters. Also, the external ears of many species of owls are asymmetrical, which is the opposite of symmetrical. The saw-whet, long-eared, and barn owls all have asymmetrical ears, but the asymmetry is achieved by these very different means. In saw-whets, the skull is asymmetrical, and in the others it's symmetrical. But skin structures lying near the ear form asymmetrical entrances to the ear canals, and this is achieved by horizontal membranes in the long-eared owl and by skewed opercula in the barn owl. Thus, asymmetrical ears seem to have evolved on 3 independent occasions among owls. And this is how owls do. If you happen to be asking yourself the same question I'm asking myself, why in the world would you have asymmetrical ears? Well, a demonstration of the importance of ear asymmetry in owls is, in experiments, some owls with symmetrical ears, such as the screech owl and the great horned owl, could not be trained to locate prey in total darkness, whereas owls with asymmetrical ears could be trained. And there, my friends, lies your answer to that weird, freaky question. Apart from asymmetrical ears, owls also have faces like satellite dishes, which, I mean, look at that thing. Do you think he gets all the channels? I bet he does. The facial disc on some owls is much more pronounced than that on others. The ones exempling it most are those that may be nocturnal, such as the barn owl. Who does live in a barn? Which sounds rather rustic and nice. A unique characteristic of this facial disc is that it's composed completely of auricular feathers. Auricular feathers are found on other bird species as well, but only around the small holes to their ears, unlike the example of a barn owl's face being completely covered in these feathers. Auricular feathers are filamentous, having slender shafts, long barbs, and no barbules. This suggests that they ensure laminar flow across the orifice of the auditory meatus and subdue the whistling of the wind. So next time you hear that whistle, use your meatus and subdue the whistling. As well, these feathers are the most densely packed group of feathers on the entirety of the owl's body, showing some departure from the general avian pattern of external ear structures. As well as external ear differences, we have middle ear differences. The eardrum is proportionally larger in owls than it is in other birds. The significance of this becomes apparent in view of the fact that the eardrum, columella, and stapes footplate offer an impedance matching device to transform airborne vibrations of large amplitude and small force to cochlear fluid-borne vibrations of large force and small amplitude. Other things being equal, this is most effective in the ratio of the area of the eardrum to the area of the stapes footplate. The ratio is 21 in the domestic chicken, for example, while in the long-eared owl it is 40. Another reason why chickens taste like chickens. The columella attaches at or near to the center of the eardrum in most birds, but off-center in many owls. Isn't that curious? This now takes us to the inner ear. The round window of the cochlea is much larger in owls than it is in other birds. The cochlea is longer in owls as well than it is in other birds, and it is also conspicuously curved. The cochlea of barn owls meets at the midline, and their bony walls touch. Talking about ears here, people. Get your minds out of the gutter. Since length of cochlea seems to relate to the ability to discriminate frequencies, it is likely that owls discriminate frequencies very well. Hooray for discrimination. Presumably, an owl can extract 4 kinds of information from incoming sound waves: frequency, intensity, phase, and time of arrival. Using both ears together, directional information can be gathered by comparing differences in time of arrival or phase of sound. The owl uses 2 cues: variations in sound intensity with direction, and interaural time differences enhanced by intensity-dependent latencies. That was a mouthful. Now, if your owl is breathing through its anus, you should probably check. I believe that's a sea cucumber. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more additions to true facts about things. Good night.